The very latest on the status of the WWE Night of Champions PLE in Saudi Arabia over the weekend. Could Canelo Alvarez be on his way to WWE? AEW commentator Jim Ross provides a positive health update and also addresses rumours of heat between himself and WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair. John Cena dodges questions regarding SummerSlam, citing spoilers. Goldberg is scheduled for tonight's edition of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. The match for the vacant Heritage Cup has now been confirmed for Tuesday's NXT. Several high-profile names are confirmed and announced for the Rev Pro Summer Sizzler. Brie Bella says she would love to return to WWE, but is still waiting on that call. Don Callis has a message for Kota Ibushi after AEW Collision goes off the air. The Motor City Machine Guns plans for AEW All In 2024, had they signed with AEW instead of WWE, has been revealed. Wardlow says he'd like to play Bane in the DC movies, and we have an update on the gun status in All Elite Wrestling. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. A reminder, this weekend it's WWE Night of Champions on Saturday. We will be live for a live watch-along and a live post-show. You can see it right there in the sidebar. So be sure to join us. We'll be going live 15 minutes before the event goes live on the air. Now, speaking of Night of Champions, a bit of an update on the status as it has been in question for the last day or so. Now, WWE Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia has a lot of question marks after the United States bombed Iran over the weekend. Iran vowed what it calls, quote, everlasting consequences, end quote, to the US airstrikes on 3 of its nuclear sites. This has naturally caused concern among wrestling fans considering the contentious nature of the situation and previous trips to Saudi Arabia not going as smoothly as everyone would have hoped. Now, Fightful say they reached out to WWE representatives in an official capacity and haven't heard back. However, one higher up on background said the situation was being monitored accordingly. The WWE talent are currently set to travel out midweek via a charter plane that would take them to Riyadh. If this was just the Night of Champions show, it would have been a very small flight, as only 10 wrestlers are slated to compete on the show as of now. However, WWE has a 3-hour SmackDown planned for the city as well. At least in Saudi Arabia, those around the event are preparing as if the event is happening. One source working on the event called it full steam ahead as of Sunday afternoon locally. That one source, speaking on a matter of opinion, said to Fightful they didn't believe it would be postponed or cancelled and thought there was too much money at stake with the upcoming Royal Rumble being there. Beyond that, the source said that, quote, Saudi is one of the safest places in the world, end quote, as it relates to this situation. And another source believed that WWE would be made assurances of said safety. The site of the event is on full build mode as of now, and fan events in Riyadh are planned to be announced for this coming week. Of course, if we get any more information, we shall let you know. Now, PW Insider have also noted that WWE talent have not been informed of any changes to their plans for Night of Champions. The current plan is for WWE to begin traveling to Saudi Arabia on Wednesday, June 25th. Now, the United States Department of State have not updated their travel advisory since the strikes between Israel and Iran began. The current advisory, which has been in place since September 2024, recommends those traveling to Saudi Arabia to exercise increased caution. Of course, if we get any more details on the situation, we'll let you know in a future video. Now, Canelo Alvarez be the latest boxer to transition over to WWE. While Canelo Alvarez is set to take on Terence Crawford in a super fight on September 13th, the fight will be promoted by Dana White and his new boxing league under the TKO banner. TKO, of course, is the parent company of UFC and WWE. Speaking at the press conference for the upcoming fight, Alvarez was asked about potentially appearing on WWE television at some point. He said, quote, we're talking about maybe you will see me in WWE at some point, said Alvarez. Of course, Crawford has appeared on WWE in the past, knocking out Austin Theory on WWE SmackDown. Now, a positive update when it comes to the health of WWE Hall of Famer and AEW commentator Jim Ross. Jim Ross recently underwent surgery for colon cancer, which was said to be a success. Within the following week, Ross was discharged from hospital and sent home, needing time to recover after the whole ordeal. On his Grillin' JR podcast, Ross offered some more positive news, revealing that he's feeling good and the doctors are hopeful that the cancer and all of it has been removed. Quote, just trying to heal and get better. That's kind of my goal right now. Taking it a day at a time. I had a meeting with my surgeon earlier this week. He's very happy, which makes me very happy. I'm sore from the surgery. My abdomen is real sore, but I've endured worse. I'm feeling pretty good, actually. I believe they got all the cancer, which is great. I'm very blessed in that regard. I was scared to death for a while, I have to be honest with you, because it's one of those mysterious things. Did they get everything they needed to get? Are we okay? But I have a really good surgeon who's taken great care of me, so I feel very blessed. Now, during his recent cancer surgery journey, Jim Ross provided relatively consistent updates to fans, something Ric Flair spoke about unfavorably on social media, stating that Ross was seeking attention. Ross responded to the notion that he and Flair had heat, denying it, stating that Flair had actually reached out to him personally. Quote, "I don't know where that came from. People just want to dig up shit and gossip and things of that nature. But no, I have no agenda, negative or positive with Rick. He knows I love him. He knows I respect him. I called some of his greatest matches, which I feel honored to do. So no, he and I are fine as far as I am concerned." Of course, Ric Flair was also diagnosed recently, revealing he had skin cancer that needed treatment. Now, John Cena, he spoke about possible plans for WWE SummerSlam. The feud between John Cena and CM Punk has reignited, with the former slated to defend the undisputed WWE Championship against the Second City Saints at WWE Night of Champions. En route to the premium live event, Cena and Punk have traded both physical and verbal jabs, the latter of which became extremely personal on the latest episode of SmackDown. At the WWE SummerSlam kickoff event, WWE broadcaster Peter Rosenberg brought up the rising tension between the two rivals, asking Cena if getting his hands on Punk was more important than a championship. Fulfilling his promise to ruin wrestling, Cena immediately dodged it. He said, quote, "So that's a great question. What I'm hearing right now, we have a riveting and exciting television program, and you're asking me for spoilers. I'm not going to give a single one out," Cena said. "You're going to have to watch the show and figure out how that turns out. Thank you very much. That's real heat. Oh no, that's real heat. Does that ruin all your questions? Are all your questions wrestling related? We're out here to talk as human beings, people. We got a bunch of people out here. Natives are getting restless now. I know how to kick a hornet's nest." Fellow broadcaster Michael Cole posed another question to the former C Nation leader, specifically about his dramatic change in character, which began at Elimination Chamber in March. Cena labeled it as another great question, but still blew over it. He said, quote, "You think I'm going to spoil this moment for all of those folks chanting?" Cena said in reference to the "you sold out" chants. "I'm not going to tell you right here, right now. That's something you're going to have to watch play out on TV. That's why we do this, right? I'm giving you nothing today, nothing." Now, Goldberg, he's set for WWE Raw tonight on Netflix. Several new segments and matches have been added to the June 23rd episode of Raw. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce announced that Goldberg will discuss his upcoming bout against Gunther on Monday's WWE Raw. Goldberg will challenge Gunther for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WWE Saturday Night's main event. The match is being advertised as Goldberg's final match. Plus, Seth Rollins will speak and Bron Breakker will take on Penta. Now, speaking of scheduled matches, a match has been officially revealed for WWE NXT on Tuesday. The NXT Heritage Cup Championship has now been thrust into the middle of the continued turmoil between members of the former Tony D'Angelo family. After an injury to Noam Dar forced the NXT Heritage Cup to be vacated, it has been announced that Channing Stacks Lorenzo will face Tony D'Angelo on the June 24th episode of NXT to crown the new champion. The announcement was made by Luca Crucifino, Tony's consigliere and Stacks' former tag team partner on X. Now, several big names have been announced for a Rev Pro event over the summer, beginning with two former New Japan Pro Wrestling stars. Tetsuya Naito and Ibushi are headed to Rev Pro. Revolution Pro Wrestling announced that Tetsuya Naito and Ibushi will compete at Rev Pro Summer Sizzler on July 25th. Naito and Ibushi are being billed as Los Tranquilos de Japan, which is a name they've taken since leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is the first announced appearances for Naito and Ibushi since they left New Japan Pro Wrestling back in May. In addition, Mercedes Moné's next date in Rev Pro is set for July 25th. Mercedes currently holds several championships ranging across the world, including the undisputed British Women's Championship, which she has successfully defended once so far in Rev Pro, defeating Kanji at Rev Pro High Stakes earlier this year. Now we know when Moné will return to the UK promotion. During their 2025 Revolution Rumble event, the promotion announced that Moné would be a part of the Rev Pro Summer Sizzler on July 25th. So that appearance has also now been confirmed. Brie Bella. Could Brie Bella be on her way back to WWE? Well, in the past few weeks, Nikki Bella has made her return to WWE and was previously feuding with Liv Morgan before the Women's Tag Team Champion suffered a shoulder injury. While Brie Bella has yet to appear by her sister's side, that is not because she doesn't want to be there. At the Nickelodeon's Kids' Choice Awards orange carpet, Brie was asked about a possible WWE return. She said, quote, I mean, I would love to return, but I'm kind of waiting for that call still. Nikki got the call, Brie didn't. So, I didn't change my number. If you guys wanted to know, all we need is a phone call, and that can happen. Nikki recently stated her desire to have Brie Bella by her side during her run in WWE. Now, of course, on AEW Collision, we saw the return of Kota Ibushi, and Don Callis has sent a message to the former New Japan star following AEW Collision. During the June 21st edition of AEW Collision, Kota Ibushi would make his return to AEW programming by the side of Mark Briscoe, leading to a brawl between the pair and the Don Callis family, including Ibushi and Kazuchika Okada coming to blows. In a new digital exclusive posted to AEW social media, following Collision, Don Callis vowed to put Ibushi in the same hospital as his golden lover friend Kenny Omega. Quote, I don't want to hear Kota Ibushi's name. Kota Ibushi is a dangerous maniac. He's the most dangerous striker I've ever seen in wrestling. What the hell is he doing here? This is ridiculous. This is not going to stand, Kota. I'm going to put you in the same hospital with your golden lover friend, Kenny Omega. I promise you that. Don't worry about anything, Okada. We got this. Now, Ibushi's last AEW appearance came in 2023 when he competed at AEW All In London. He's also scheduled to appear on AEW Dynamite this week. Now, the Motor City Machine Guns, they're members of the WWE roster, but at one point they were close to signing with AEW. The Motor City Machine Guns signed with WWE in 2024 and quickly became the tag team champions. However, them going to AEW, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, wasn't out of the question. Recently, a fan noted to Fightful that they wish the Motor City Machine Guns had gone to AEW. Fightful did confirm last year that Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley had discussions with All Elite Wrestling, but didn't know exactly what the plan would have been. In recent weeks, as AEW All In has gotten closer, Fightful say they've learned what the original internal discussions for the legendary tag team were. While Motor City Machine Guns were in talks with AEW, the company had plans to go towards a Young Bucks versus Motor City Machine Guns tag team title feud for their big pay-per-view. Fightful told at some point in the summer things went radio silent between the two sides, at which point AEW assumed that the Motor City Machine Guns were going to WWE. The decision was made to pivot to the Young Bucks defending the titles against FTR and the Acclaimed at the show instead. Now, Wardlow, could he be set to join the DC Universe as an iconic Batman villain? AEW's Wardlow shoots his shot and wants to be a part of James Gunn's new cinematic universe for DC. With just weeks remaining till the release of James Gunn's Superman film, the tone will soon be established for his vision of the cinematic future of the legendary DC superheroes and supervillains. Of course, Gunn is no stranger to collaborating with professional wrestlers. He has partnered with John Cena on the Peacemaker series and worked with Batista on Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy's film. Wardlow wants to be the next wrestler in DC films and took to X to tag Gunn directly, stating that if he's looking for someone to portray the role of Batman villain Bane, and if Dave Batista is busy, then he wants to be the one. He said, quote, hey James Gunn, if you need Bane and Dave Batista is busy, I'm your guy. Now, Wardlow or Batista would not be the first professional wrestler to portray Bane. Jeep Swenson, known as Ultimate Solution when he headlined WCW Uncensored in 1996 as one of the many opponents for Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, portrayed Bane in the critically panned 1997 film Batman and Robin. Wardlow has been away from AEW television since March of 2024. He will be one of the gladiators on the revived American Gladiator series hosted by WWE superstar The Miz. And finally, we have an update on the status in AEW of former AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Guns. Austin and Colton Gunn of the Guns have not been seen in AEW for over 4 months, last appearing in February of 2025. One would assume that their extended absence was down to an injury, but this doesn't seem to actually be the case. On X, Austin Gunn posted a gif of the Guns' AEW entrance, perhaps in response to the Many Men 50 Cent song being used in WWE's recent 2K video game for the entrance of Therese Halliburton. The Guns previously used this as a one-off for an entrance for an AEW World Tag Team Championship match. In response to this post, the question was posed from a fan about whether either Austin or Colton were injured. Austin simply replied, nope. This raises questions over why the pairing have not been featured in AEW programming for so long. Their last match was a loss to the Hurt Syndicate duo of Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley in an AEW World Tag Team title challenge. There have been several other updates over the reasons behind AEW absences over the last recent weeks, notably the likes of Hooks and also AEW Women's World Champion Jamie Hayter and also multi-time Women's Champion Hikaru Shida, all of whom have been off of AEW programming for various lengths of time and for various reasons. But there you go, guys. Latest AEW, WWE, and pro wrestling news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, as you can see right there. We're currently on our way to 23,000 subscribers on that road to 25k. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. Join the ever-expanding WNU, that being the Wrestling News universe. In addition, you can become a member of the WN365 roster. Links in the video description below. You can click the join button or scan the QR code as it appears on the sidebar. Speaking of that sidebar, you can see all upcoming watch-alongs we've got here on the channel. That includes this Saturday for WWE Night of Champions. We'll be live for a watch along and a post show, so be sure to join us then. Appreciate everyone for tuning in as always, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.